the Black & Decker 20-volt reciprocating saw, where the battery goes here at the bottom, where we currently have it on lock. So it's like the safety on a firearm, so it won't have any accidental releases while we are handling the device. The blade has been inserted by the lever release over here. Put it in, put it out, and it's ready to go. And we're going to experiment on a piece of wood that is dead. Make sure we put our eye gear on first, and let's go. Should we try the big one? Let's try the big one. Stalling a little bit. This is a thick piece of wood. We're not out of the bark yet. There it is. Separation has happened. Let's see if this still has battery. Yes. And let's see what it looks like on the other side of this. Put the safety back on. Okay, it's not firing. And let's see what this end looked like. There it is. Nice and smooth. Here's the other end. We just sawed off right there. As you saw, it was a little struggle to try to get it all the way through, and it was stopping, but the battery is still there. It just needed a little bit. Once that happens, I just released the trigger and then just started again, because it was stopped on its own after going for about 10 seconds after a while. And it could be because of overheating or just because the bark was too thick. The trunk was too thick, the limb was too thick. But as you saw with the smaller ones right here, it went through it reasonably easy. So keep that in mind when purchasing. Also know that this is the original attachment in which it came with. And as you saw with the extra attachments, they have bigger pieces that can work with this probably a little better than this. Should we try it? And just an insider tip before we continue with our project and experimentation: when working with tools, keep safety in mind. Just assume that all tools, especially if you're a beginner, have this assumption in mind and commit it to your memory that all tools are sharp, very sharp, and can cut off your finger, your toes, your limbs, your eyes at a moment's notice. So with that being said, let's continue. What we want to do is we want to release this tool. We want to try a tougher, thicker, bigger tool to experiment with. So what we're going to do is hit the release button here, take this one out, and we're holding it by the end that does not have the corroded edges. Here we have pieces of wood left from our last experiment. And we're going to open the Work Pro extra devices, right, that we got. And we're going to try a bigger one to see if we can handle the girth of the log that we found. We'll put it in this one. Doesn't seem to have a lot of blades in it, so it'll fit without much compromise. We'll use this one over here. This is part number 6, if you're wondering. Look how tough that looks, but sometimes looks can be deceiving, right? There's a life lesson there somewhere. Looks can be deceiving. Sometimes you assume something about something or someone, and it can appear to be something, but really be something else. So we're going to attach it to see if this non-Black & Decker part works seamless with this Black & Decker product. Put the release lever up, and we're going to insert it. Does it attach? Yes, it does. It's on safety right now, so you can't hear it. We'll take it off safety, and it's moving. Okay, as you saw the wood chips flying back, and we'll make our way back into the area of the thicker log. Okay, safety glasses have been engaged. We're working with the bigger tool, and we're going to remove the safety, and we're going to get started. Okay, so that time the struggle was a little less with this tool, part number 6, and the Work Pro attachments, but not as seamless as you would think with a piece this big. But what I also noticed, just switching the camera over, when I was cutting it, just making my way back to my car, there's a lot of movement happening in the area, a lot of police activity, and that usually signals it's time to keep moving. But even though they're not here for me, there could be other activity happening in the area, and if you could avoid any problems, just do so. It's just follow your instincts. But anyway, here is the tool that we used. One thing that helped is when I was using it, do not push down on it because you think it's going to make it go faster. Just leave it steady as you make your way through it. Now we're going to put it back on safety and continue our walk back to our car. And what do you think? Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? The battery's still going strong. Should we continue our experiment? I was thinking on the way back to the car that this is something that you might want to use if you're some kind of artist. And this is a piece that I cut off the tree that was grounded. And you can make some kind of ornament, some kind of paperweight, or something that you can construct in wood, because it leaves you this nicely cut piece that can be reused as some kind of functional art. You know, maybe this will inspire some budding artists out there It does have a nice smell to it. Can't really say of what, but it does smell like something organic without the strong chemicals taste of, the smell of something that was made for mass production. Look at this. The peel just comes off. Whoop, the bark just comes off. Whoop, and that's what you have left. Look at that. Can you tell how many years it's been alive? And maybe even the bark you can use for a fire or for some kind of aromatic therapy. There it is. Finished product.